Hey guys, welcome to Tracy Matitai Show. My name is Tracy and I'm still with my friend Enoch Mosop. And as you've heard before, he told us he comes from Baringo County. But before we continue, please subscribe. So, you said your home is Baringo County.
My name is Enoch Kimosop, as I said.
Uh-huh.
I come from Baringo County.
Mm-hmm.
The most, actually, Baringo County is a big county,
Mm-hmm.
but the region that I come from,
Mm-hmm.
or the place that I come from,
Mm-hmm.
is the most affected region when it comes to banditry.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys who've been seeing in the news that cattle rustling and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I come from that area and I'm among the immediate affected gentlemen.
So he's going to give us more about the banditry in Baringo County since he's a member of Baringo County. And as before we start, give us a brief since wewe ukuwa umekomaa as in umekuwa mkubwa hivi, you've understood what is banditry and you've understood cattle rustling. Give us a brief history since then.
To me, since I was young, it was just a question of complaint. Every now and then, people used to complain about banditry, and we've lost a lot of property through the banditry. You see, the challenge here is it is no longer the question of cattle rustling. It is no longer the question of pastoralism. It is the question of the land. It is the question of politicians participating in the banditry. It is the question of big people in government being in this field, because there are people who have decided that they are going to specialize in stealing other people's properties. Like, for example, there are bandits in that region, and someone says most bandits are pokots, and not all pokots are bandits, but all bandits are pokots.
Before we continue, let me cut you short. How many linguistic groups are there in Baringo County?
Sorry?
How many linguistic groups are there in Baringo County?
A lot.
Uh-huh.
We have pokots,
Uh-huh.
we have James,
Uh-huh.
we have now Tugen, we have some of Turkanas.
Uh-huh.
And why is it that all these other linguists are living peacefully and we have a challenge with only one community? It's because these people have decided that they started CBC a long time ago, whereby when you are in a position of using a gun, you don't go to school. You specialize in a gun, you live in the forest. And when you are in a position of going to school, those with guns are the one who will educate you. Now you go to school and study. And when you win and become something, you come back to the community and facilitate them, maybe through resources or through helping them when they are arrested and stuff. The reason why we have the question of banditry, because I would also be shocked that why is it happening that some people have illegal guns in this country and they're walking free. I would also be shocked that why is it so hard for a government to stop banditry, to stop illegal attacks? Why are people having guns anyway? I mean, if a country like Kenya could fight Somalia, if US can attack Russia, why is it so difficult to delegalize guns? I mean, if yes, you have your animals and you feel that you want to protect it with guns, there are laws that says you can operate with a legal gun. If you feel that you are so rich with a lot of cattle and you want to protect them with a gun, there are laws that allow you to own that gun and use it legally. So to me, it is no longer a question of cattle rustling. It is a question of expansion of land. It is a question of a business to come, because those guys, we don't know where they get those guns, and they are in the forest. So of course, there is a big person who supplies them with. Yeah, that is all about banditry. I have heard about it all along. It has been there. We've lost properties. We've lost family members. We've lost people who have died due to. We've lost young people, and we just pray for the mercies of God to be upon us.
What exactly are these bandits interested in?
The reason, as I said, it is not the question of cattle rustling. These bandits are being used. They have a god. They have a godfather that they use them, because of course there's someone who supplies them with guns. There's someone who supplies them with food and stuff while in the forest, and they are being taken care of. The reason why a whole government cannot order an operation in that region. I have been in many meetings for operation, a lot, but nothing has been happened. Even the reason when Matiangi was there, soldiers are in the ground, but they can't do anything because they don't have a go-ahead. The bandits are there walking free. They are even attacking the police, but the same government cannot order. It's not that the government cannot. It is because there are people who depends in it. And those people who depends in it, we believe that they are great government officials.
So to some point, the government officials were ndani ya hii banditry.
Yes,
And there's some
because
sponsoring this banditry.
yes, because there's a day operation was being ordered. Why did it? Why did it? It was stopped in 2 weeks' time. Why was it stopped in 2 weeks' time? It's because someone somewhere influential in the government and the most beneficiary of the bandits, because of course those kettles are being stolen, they are being sold to maybe certain meat companies, and those meat companies belong to people. Those guns that they are being supplied, there's someone making profit out of it. So it is no longer the question of just normal pastoralism arguments. It is a question of land. Why was it easy to stop insecurity in Laikipia and so difficult to stop insecurity in Baringo? Why was
On
it
that,
easy?
just a minute, on that, basing on that thing, yeah, unaweza sema kuna ubaguzi mahali because there was a time there was the same issue over Laikipia County.
Yes.
And I understand that Laikipia County and Baringo County are bordering.
Yes.
And hii ya Laikipia ilistopiwa haraka sana.
Yes.
Na hii ya Baringo imekuwa ongoing and ongoing and ongoing.
Yes, because it is a question of land.
So that means kuna ubaguzi mahali.
Yes, it is because it is the question of land. As I said, we have a lot of resources in Baringo that you don't know. In that region, the region from Ramacha, when you come to Arabal, come to Kasiela, come to Kulamoywe, those are very good hills and with good terrains. Those places have goals. They have a lot of resources. And there are people who own that place legitimately. To avoid that question, now the big quote-unquote government officials uses the terrorists to chase away people. And through that, as people moves, the land becomes free. And with the time, they are going that land is either going to be a ranch, and they start drilling those minerals. So all I'm saying, it is no longer the question of banditry as usual. It is the question of land. It is because why was it easy to stop in Laikipia?
I don't know.
Why did it happen? Why did it happen that Laikipia cried today and tomorrow there was no? And actually, Laikipia cried because Laikipia don't keep cattle. So it is we who escaped to that place. Now when we were attacked, they were attacked also because we are in their place. And within no time, we were out, and within no time, the operation was done. So to me, I feel so sorry to the young people in that area. I feel so sorry to the generation. And all I'm saying is, may God's grace see them through. But at the same time also, as young people, what we know is that evil will not last for long. We are growing and we will come and save our land. Whatever it costs, whatever it will take, whatever it will mean, whatever it will pertain, we are going to save our land.
So to some point, some people are being dispersed or displaced.
A lot of people, we have a lot of IDPs. We have a lot of people who don't have their homes anymore. We have a lot of people who are now poor but they were rich. We have a lot of uneducated kids who can't go to school because they can't, their fee can't get being catered off. We have a lot of people who have lost their loved ones. I have personally lost my cousin brother, and I lost it due to insecurity menace. And one thing I'm telling even this government and Waziri Matiangi, I would tell him, at some point when we see the graves of our relatives, we see you as a minister. Why am I saying so? It is because our relatives or our close ones or our beloved ones are being buried because you failed as a government. You failed as a CS to make sure that people are living in a peaceful manner. It was so shameful that you could arrest a principal and leave the bandits walking free. And you say the principal allowed the bus to be outside at 6 p.m. My question is, when was it declared that past 6 p.m. bandits will be walking free? When was that state of the nation issued? Very shameful, and all I know, what goes around
Comes back around.
comes back around. One day Matiangi You will feel the pain as we feel. Maybe your daughter will be married in that region. Maybe you will experience such a matter because you failed as the government. People are dying because you're the CS. If today I've been given, I, Enoch Imosop, to be the CS for one day, I'll end insecurity in that region. Matiangi, you're the CS daily, you can't do anything.
So all blames to Matiangi.
And this government.
And his government.
Of course.
There was a time some aspiring members and the current leaders of Baringo County were at a place, was it Lamaiwe? I saw that over some viral news. And there is this lady who is aspiring to be the women representative, Baringo County, Florence Jamatia. There were some words she mentioned and she was alilala ndani nikidhani ama alishikwa. What happened or what were the exact words?
Jamatian, you see, said what the government didn't want, but what the people wanted. Jamatian said, since this government cannot protect us, we've cried to our knees. We've done what we can do to make sure that this insecurity menace is being ended by the government. It is so unfortunate that government have proved to be weak or not ready to help us. Now it is our time as the residents of Baringo to help ourselves. What she said is, now because the government have allowed the bandits to own the illegal guns, now also us, let us help ourselves, get guns and protect ourselves. Why? Because the government has refused to stop them from owning guns. So if they legitimately can own guns, then fine, let us also own guns so that it will be our war of tackle, a war of titans, whereby we face each other. That is what she said. The government were not impressed. They called it incitement, whichever, and they ended up arresting her, releasing her with a bond of 1 million and stuff. But all I'm saying is that at some point I agree with her. She was right. Because the bandits don't have a right to walk free with guns and attack people who are innocent with no anything, who are unarmed. So we better be armed and they be armed and we face each other. Because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. They are not immune to death. They can also die.
And is it in the hands of the natives or the citizens to take care of themselves?
According to the government, it is not. But now, we have a failing government. We have a failing who have totally refused to help us. So if that is the direction the government is trying to take us, then fine. What are we going to do? Because personally, I know how to use a gun. Personally, I can shoot and get to the point. And get to the point. Now, and get to the point. So we also have people who use the guns. If they know how to use it, we know how to use it for the benefit of our lands, which the government has refused to help us. Then let us help ourselves. We are wicked. Even the law allows something called self-defense. In fact, what we are going to do is self-defense. We are not going to the war. They are coming to the war. We are going to attack them in our own land, not in their land.
So that's self-defense.
That's self-defense.
Okay. Yeah. And what has these leaders for Baringo County done enough? Maybe wamejaribu kadri ya uwezo wao.
They have talked what they have said. They have always been in the meeting. They have visited Matiangi's office several times. The only thing that we don't have is the political will. We lack the political will and the political support. We lack the supportive government. Because we've seen Honorable Kimosop MCA making comments daily. We've seen Honorable Cameron making comments daily. We've seen Honorable Kiptis making comments daily. We've seen Honorable Cameron and the team in meetings in Matiangi's office with Team Truma and all this. All that has happened. But the government is still not supportive. Up to the last meeting that we were in Nakuru, Sarova Woodlands, Matiangi was present. Mutiambai was there. All of them were there. They assured us that in 14 days, starting tomorrow, we are going to have an operation. It was true, tomorrow, we saw soldiers in our land. But it was not true that operation was done. Soldiers are in our land, eating, drinking alcohol, consuming the sweetness of our ladies without doing anything. They are just sleeping, and they are saying they don't have authority to shoot. They don't have authority to attack. 14 days are now elapsing. Nothing are being done. People are being stolen. Everything is being happening.
Can you tell me, is it only Baringo County where kuna hizo attacks ama kuna counties zingine?
Elgeyo Marakwet is there.
Uh-huh.
Turkana is there.
Uh-huh.
And of course, Samburu is there.
Uh-huh.
But I'm speaking on
behalf of Baringo
because
County.
I'm aware of Baringo.
Uh-huh.
But banditry is banditry
Uh-huh.
everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Attack to Baringo is attack to the entire country.
Uh-huh.
Attack to Baringo, Elgeyo Marakwet is also attack to Baringo.
Uh-huh.
So the bottom line is we should end banditry and let people live peacefully.
I understand that this banditry is making schools closed where students are not going to classes, and I understand that there are some candidates, that is the Form 4 and the Class 8s, and their schools have been closed. What do you have to say about that?
It is so unfortunate that some people and some schools in Nairobi are operating daily. It is so unfortunate that some schools in those regions cannot operate and the government is silent. It is so unfortunate that you expect that child who is not going to school or who is learning under the tree to sit on an exam, on the same exam, with a lady or a man in Mang or a lady in Alliance. It is so unfortunate. All I want to say is that no matter how this government will treat us, we have a big future. I come from that area. I am a degree older. The first student in that place, recently in the KCC with KCSE with KCP with more than 400 marks, is from actually the worst place. And he managed. Arabal, which is one of the schools that was closed the whole of last year, produced the best students in the country. It's because we serve a God and we know that one day, whatever it will take, whatever it will mean, we are going to sort out this question. With a legitimate government, with a sober mind, as a young person, I know I will one day be something in this government, and I will one day be in a position to stop the mandatory, just like how Mzee Moi did it.
As we wind up, I want you to look at the camera and address the people of Baringo County, and again address the government of, that is Matiangi, who is the CS Security, Internal Security.
My people from Baringo, I'm addressing you today with a heavy heart that don't worry, it is going to be good. It is all about patience. One day we will go back to our land. One day we will have a government that will help us. One day we will have people who will have gone through this, what we are going on right now. And the question of insecurity is going to be sorted out. I want to tell the government, President Uhuru Kenyatta, Matiangi being the CS of insecurity. As I have said, sometimes when you see the graves of our relatives, we see a government that has failed us. We see CS Matiangi in your office. All I'm saying is, you are not the first person to be in that office. You are not going to be the last person in that office. You don't know about my future. Maybe I am the one destined to sit in that office and sort out that question. So Matiangi, we are so ashamed with you. And one I can tell you is that even in heaven, your book of judgment is open and you are going to answer those questions. And God will ask you, when you were in power, why did people cry because of insecurity and you are in charge of security? So all I'm saying is that if you still have a heart, if you still have a place, if you still feel for a family that can lose brothers in a day, that can bury their own without some parts of a body, do action and you will be a free walking man. All you need to do is order operation in Baringo and other parts. As per now, you've done nothing. And as per now, when history will be written, we will say, during this time, this number of people died because Matiangi decided that he's not going to do anything. Shame on you. To my people of Baringo, God is there, is watching, and I know His grace is going to be upon us. Thank you, and I greatly love you.
And I've forgotten something. I've never seen your senator involved in this banditry issue.
There are allegations about it that he's among the senior government officials who is beyond this, who is in this game. But recently we saw him trying to say one or two, but I would wanted to put it off this discussion because he's my senator, and personally I would not like to talk about things that have not proved. But all I'm saying, what he said is always there, and if indeed it is there, then I'm going to leave it to God.
And who is your senator, by the way?
Oh, my senator is Gideon Moi's son to the late Mzee Moi. But I would not want to discuss in cameras the allegations that are being said. I'm not sure. We are all not sure. But he's so silent on this, and maybe that is the reason why people are saying, why is this guy so silent when you're going through this? And I know you have the upper hand of the government, and also he's not ready to utilize it. So all I'm saying is, if he's among this, shame on them.
And tell something to Baringo leaders.
To my Baringo leaders, we know you've tried. We know you've said a lot about it. We know you've been on record trying to dispute this thing. We know it is beyond your hands. We know that you are lacking a political will for us to get this help. Chamatian, you said it and it is. Cameron, we've seen you fighting for it. Kimosop, we've seen you also fighting for it. The entire leaders, we've seen you doing what you can. Let's leave it to God. It will come a day that it will be a celebration in Baringo when the banditry will end and when we get the right leadership. I believe that the leadership of William Ruto will sort it. If it will not, then there is no peace in this country. Thank you. God bless you. I love Baringo. I love everybody in Baringo. And cheers, Wana Baringo.
It's so sad, Baringo County, and
so unfortunate.
So unfortunate. I feel for you, by the way. But with time, everything is going to be fine. And I believe we've come to the end of our video. And please, if you have that emerging problem in your county and you feel that you should share it, that you should put it on limelight, just DM me on my Instagram account, that's Tracy Matetai, Tracey, Matetai, Matetai, so that you can air out, ipate kujulikana zaidi, and it can find answers. So what do you have to tell us finally as we end it?
Tracy, all I will say is that you've been a nice lady. I'm happy for this interview. At some point, it makes me feel that really we need to do a lot. So thank you for your interview. I would like your supporters and your followers
to
like and subscribe.
Thank you.
And I'll be ready to be back in the show.
Thank you.
In case of any invitings. Thank you.
Thank you. So people will have come to the end of our video. Please subscribe. Bye bye, and let's meet in the next video.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.